Let's sit at the round table
You
and
jump
discuss.
in and out, in and out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think I like that style because I'm probably gonna forget my points.
Yeah.
During the
Okay.
talk.
Yeah, that happens. So, and then, so I want to share an article that I came across. And the reason why I didn't want to give it to you ahead of time is because I want to see your live reaction. I don't want to see if that makes sense. Like I want to see what you think of now in the moment. It's about big corporations and how they affect the food that we get access to on a regular basis. So we first will go over the data and then the question about relationship with food. And then at the end, I like to ask a question about big corporations and particularly the article that I came across. And then I'll ask you what your reactions are. I know last time you mentioned that you would bring some data as far as obesity in America.
Oh, you did already. That was good enough.
Okay.
Yeah, 42.4% CDC. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Large number.
yeah, and I think that's as of last year. I didn't get any data for this year yet, but
I bet this year is gonna be even higher because everybody's stuck at home.
right,
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah, stress eating.
that is true. I agree with that. So, okay. So today's topic, as you all know, is obesity in America. No, not, I apologize. Our relationship with food when in relation to obesity in America, specifically for adults. So as we spoke about already, the numbers currently stand at 42%. This is according to the Center for Disease Control. And what makes a person obese? Usually we look at their body mass index. Anywhere over 30% is considered obese. And there are different categories for that as well. Now, my main question for today for you all is to see what your perspective is on what is your, I'd like to know for each of you to expand on what is your relationship with food? And that can include things like your culture, your upbringing, either you have enough time or lack of time. What affects your relationship with food? And you can use any examples you like, including the ones I stated previously. So the excitement is gone.
Oh no, I hear you.
Okay.
I went to get water, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it didn't start yet, right? We're just talking, right?
We can pretty much
okay.
summarize what we want to
Yeah.
say, and then we can start it.
I can go first if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
So, for me specifically, I would say I have this intense love for food. And I don't want to be dramatic, but it's like addiction. Like I love food. Like I like to try any type of food. But the thing with me is, I like food to some extent. So I like to get fresh fruit from the supermarkets and make it myself. Or like if it's, I like to eat at home. That's what I'm trying to say. You will barely see me in a fast food restaurant because I feel like it's even more expensive. Because like if you stop at McDonald's, I will say the minimum that you can spend every day would be $10. With $10, you can get fresh food from the supermarket and make it your own. So I love food that is homemade, and the thing that I was saying addiction like is when I'm heating up food in the microwave, I feel this sensation. I don't want to be dramatic, but I get so like overly excited just waiting for the food to be ready for me to start eating. So that is my close relationship with food at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Crystal, what about you? What is your relationship with food?
I have a
Carolina,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
this
yeah.
the actual thing, or we're just talking still? You're
Um,
confusing me.
so we can quickly just summarize what your answers are, and then we can get started with
Okay,
expanding our,
good. I was
if
like,
that makes sense.
it's getting a little different for me, you know?
Okay.
I have always have a sweet tooth. It's crazy. I'm crazy with sweets. And like in my culture, after eating like salty foods, we would eat like a piece of something sweet. I don't know if it's because I got so used to it since I was like very little. It was either like you eating something sweet or like a fruit after eating a meal, like a banana or like a fresh fruit from the the backyard. Yeah, which is healthy, but like I'm very into eating sweets that are have a lot of sugar and the not so healthy ones. Yeah. And I don't know when to stop. Yeah, it's that crazy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Simon, what are your points?
Yes, I guess in my relationship with food, it's interesting, I guess. I tend to eat a lot when I'm home, not really when I'm outside. So I think when I'm busy, I don't eat as much. It's just, especially with COVID, being home, or sometimes when you're just home doing nothing, watching Netflix, then it's just, yeah, you just start eating, opening the fridge and whatnot. So I'm very conscious about what I eat. Um, Arguably healthy, but I do like to cheat plenty of times. So that's me, and yeah, and also just like Crystal, I have a sweet tooth, so I do prefer those things. But a lot of times the sweet stuff, it's not as filling again. You need some protein, some carbs as well. But yeah, and I'm not crazy about all the new trendy stuff like organic, grass fed, all that. Can't afford that. I'm not
Okay.
making that actually. But I just go with the flow. Obviously, try to be conscious, not go too crazy about it. Diet is the most important thing, but also, my sanity is more important too.
Right. In my case, I have a love and hate relationship with food because the things I love to eat, my stomach doesn't necessarily agree with. Things like dairy products. So I always struggle when it comes to eating, but I try to make good decisions when I can. I'm not perfect, but especially when I'm outside, I try to grab things that I think will sit well with me in my stomach. Um, Things are expensive, so I don't always get the things I want. So that's a major challenge for me. So I see, so Crystal, you mentioned maybe you can focus on talking about the food that you have access to in your backyard if you want to expand on that.
Okay. Yeah. In my grandma's backyard,
But actually, wait 1 second.
Sorry.
When we actually get started, so I'm just trying to see what each of you points of views are, just so that we can each expand on that. So I would like for you to maybe expand on that once we get started, and then Z, you mentioned the big M and how you stay away from that, and you always rely on homemade food. So maybe we can stick on that for you. And Simon, you mentioned that organic food is not your thing, right? That was the last thing I caught from what you said. And maybe you can go in depth as to why is that?
It's just my belief. It's safe.
So would you be able to expand on each of those things that you touched on?
And I think you throw questions at us, right? So yeah, you'll be more of you'll be like the mediator, and then you throw questions at us, and then
Yeah.
we kind of go around that.
Right. So the order will be Z, Crystal, Simon, and then myself. Does that work, or should we adjust it?
I think you could jump in, right? In and out, in and out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think I like that style because I'm probably gonna forget my points.
Yeah.
during the
Okay.
talk.
Yeah, that happens. So, and then, so I want to share an article that I came across. And the reason why I didn't want to give it to you ahead of time is because I want to see your live reaction. I don't want to see, if that makes sense. Like, I want to see what you think of now in the moment. It's about big corporations and how they affect the food that we get access to on a regular basis. So we first will go over the data and then the question about relationship with food. And then at the end, I like to ask a question about big corporations and particularly the article that I came across. And then I'll ask you what your reactions are.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be wrong or right, just what you think overall.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So the first question, it says your relationship with food. In the summary that you sent us,
Yeah.
it says relationship with 3 foods. Are we responding to that question or like relationship with food in general?
Food in general. Actually, disregard the number 3. I added that there by mistake. So food in general, is it healthy, unhealthy, and what factors affect your relationship with food? Culture, time, cost, or your own beliefs.